Mulibanje everybody, it's your girl Yujin. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go back into the futuristic Lusaka of Supa Team 4 and talk about a character who we are all excited and interested to see. And that character is Chusi, ultimate bad guy number 1. The one who started all the bad guyness, whose villainy had an effect on Season 1, Volumes 1 and 2, bad guy. With Season 1, Volume 3 on the way, sometime the Volume 2 finale teased Chusi's return. So with Chusi's return, there's always one question looming around our heads. Who is the masked man? I mean, other than what does Chusi want and why is he doing this? It's who is Chusi? Before we get started, just a disclaimer that this video is entirely theoretical, meaning that this is a theory analysis and not a full depth analysis. It's obviously something made up from the head, the mind. It's not true in the slightest. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. And we already know that Chusi is a new character, so I doubt that any of the characters that I suspect is actually Chusi. It's just a theory. You are free to disagree with me. So without further ado, yeah, you already know. Let's go. So the first thing we're gonna do is choose the odd ones out. People who cannot be Chusi and are the least likely to be Chusi. Let's see. Who can't be Chusi? Well, it's obviously not one of the IS trio members. Who else can't be Chusi? One of the girls. Obviously, because Chusi has been around before any of them were born. It's obviously not going to be Mr. Magetsi again, because he's already been dealt with. I mean, Chusi is the reason why he turned evil in the first place. It's not one of the villains that Magetsi hired to take down Lusaka. Maybe it could be Alligator in human form. That'd be kind of a crazy change of pace if you ask me. But Alligator probably doesn't want to steal government files or know everything about everyone. He probably just wants to go on dates with Professor Green Thumbs. It's not Miss Prudent, although that would be interesting. You know, the ladies whose hair is shaped like a butt. Another person who can't be Chusi is Likando, Monde's older sister. A, she's too young, and B, she doesn't pose any evil qualities. If anything, Likando might be one of the characters who's gonna suffer the most because of Chusi, since Chusi will be after the government files and the government intelligence. Wait a second. Come to think of it, Likando's name actually means sufferings, or to suffer in Lozi. Was that intentional? Coming up with the name for Monde's older sister? Is she actually gonna suffer that much? I'm invested, but I'm also scared. I'm scared. If she does end up suffering, y'all got some explaining to do. But we'll see. We'll just see about that. But yes, Likando can't be Chusi. Too young, too many positive qualities. Who else can't be Chusi? Well, I just really hope that Mr. Nakwashi is not Chusi. I really don't want him to be Chusi, because regardless of whether people liked him or not, or whether he wasn't a nice guy or was too hard on the girls, at some points Mr. Nakwashi did have a point, and he was doing the right thing, or making sure that people are doing the right thing. In fact, when Temwe was making that evil eagle Chusi board of truth, suspecting that Mr. Nakwashi is Chusi, most of the alleged things that Nakwashi did was just the girls making bad decisions. But when Mr. Nakwashi was doing his job and trying to explain his job in the Volume 1 finale, Parts 1 and 2, I mean, he did kind of have a point. When he disappears from his office is because he has to deal with problematic students. And plus, Mr. Nakwashi played a huge vital role in Temwe's character development. He was the reason why Temwe took her classes more seriously. And also the members kind of joined in as well. If she wasn't taking her classes seriously, she could be pulled from volunteering at Mama K's and the team entirely. They saw what she was doing, or rather not doing, and they didn't want her to be kicked out. She's the heart of Team 4, and the team would suffer so much without her. If Nakashi turns out to be Chusi, it will undermine all of Temwe's character development, and it'll all just be thrown in the trash and mean nothing, and everyone will be very upset. It'll be very disappointing, since we were so invested in Temwe's character development. And to throw it all away because she was right that Nakashi was Chusi is just, it would be very disappointing. So let's cross our fingers that Chusi is not Mr. Nakashi. I like to think Mr. Nakashi is one of those characters who you hate at first, but when you watch the show or the media a bit more, you start to take a liking to them, and they actually become one of the most funniest and relatable characters, like Raquel from Barbie Life in the Dream House. But yeah, I think that wraps up the list of who can't be Chusi. Now here is my list of who can be Chusi. My biggest speculation is a relative or someone close to the Ayas trio, like a former friend or even a relative, like an uncle, a brother, or a relative they have never even heard or seen before. It could be Toella's ex, Limbani's father. After allegedly giving up on Toella and Limbani, he's come to finish the job and take everything from her. I mean, yeah, Chusi was targeting Mama K with the brainstorm machine, but maybe he did this as a trap for Toella because he knew that she was gonna jump in and save her. It could be Toella's ex, or it could be a relative of one of the Ayas trio. It could also be a relative of one of the Team 4 girls. It could be a dad, an uncle, a grandfather, or a relative they have never even heard of. 3 of the members have confirmed that they have a dad. And Z, she mentioned that she has a mother, but her father is never mentioned. And since Z doesn't really have a story yet, maybe, just maybe, Chusi could be Z's father. Monde's parents are only mentioned, but we don't see him. Komana's dad would be a wild twist. Maybe the reason why he has asthma is because he was getting side effects from using all that smoke. But if you put 2 and 2 together, it makes total sense that Komana's dad could be Chusi. Especially since we don't really know much about him. He doesn't really have a character outside of just being dad. Then there's Temwe's dad. Her parents are out of town for some work, and her Auntie Blé is taking guardianship of her. Auntie Blé doesn't have a character outside of just being guardian. Auntie Blé is like the show's version of a Charlie Brown voice, but she actually speaks words instead of going womp 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 womp. Auntie Blé could be Chusi. It would be kind of mind-blowing. It would question everybody's entire existence and love for this show, you know? It could be Temwe's dad. In fact, Temwe's dad and Storm Drain share a voice actor. So the speculations are not that far off. But yeah, those are the characters who I think can't and can be Chusi. This is just speculation and none of it is true or real. But let me know in the comments who you think could be Chusi and why you think they could be Chusi. Okay, I think that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Oh, and I also opened my Red Note account. And if you want to follow me there, that is up to you. And be sure to check out my new single, Selfish, on all streaming platforms. And if you have a Netflix account, be sure to stream Supa Team 4 Seasons 1 and 2, or Season 1 Volume 1 and 2 on Netflix. It's really, really good, and you won't be disappointed. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, this is your girl Yujin, signing off. Peace!
Pick it, pretty, poised, selfish.